Hello, my name is Magee. I am a teacher in Millennium Integrated Primary School. I've been teaching for 30 years and I've also been teaching drama, my own private business, for the last 20 years. And in many cases I have been able to deal with children on the autistic spectrum, both in primary school and in drama. But I found my use of drama and using drama within the classroom also has been enormously helpful with regard to inclusion, specifically with those children who may struggle and who are on the autistic spectrum. There is one particular instance that I always remember because it was just unbelievable. So quite often parents would contact me and say, not that they wouldn't necessarily say that their child had ASD, but they would say, my child has problems with following rules or has problems with listening skills, and I would always say, right, well, drama's the perfect vehicle to try and allow them to access lessons and learning in that way. So there was one child I had who was about 6 years old, and his parents said to me, he doesn't speak. He simply won't speak. He'll speak at home, certainly. He's very fluent and will speak at home, but in a school situation or in a drama setting, he won't speak. He simply won't speak. So we would like to let him have the experience of drama to see if he enjoys it, and we'll see where we go from there. So I said, that's no problem at all. He's more than welcome. Welcomed him into the class, and of course he said absolutely nothing. He looked perfectly happy, but would not respond to a question, wouldn't respond to other children, simply sat. He did what he was told. So if I said, I want everyone to get into groups of 4, he would get up and move around and get into a group of 4. So all the drama games that you play that are not they're not verbal, he was brilliant, always enjoyed it, smile on his face, he was doing well. And then we got to the point where we were doing, in this case, where you think of a book and you hot seat a character, and I was aware that he probably wouldn't be able to access that because he wouldn't speak, but I told him that if he wanted a particular role that was not speaking, he could do that. But all of a sudden, the kids who were doing this book, they decided they were actually doing Stopping on the Broom, Room and a Broom or whatever, by Julia Donaldson, and he stood up and asked a question, and I was absolutely amazed, but I didn't go it's that would be the wrong thing to do, obviously, but I just let him continue. And of course, children being so accepting, and they just proceeded on with what they were doing. It was as if nothing alarming or remarkable had actually happened. So he continued to talk, and when they had finished their little scenario, I said to him, that was amazing, did you enjoy that? And of course he was back to not speaking again. And I said to his parents, you're not going to believe this. He actually spoke during an improvisation, and the parents were overjoyed, and that was the route, that was the way for him to feel kind of that he wasn't necessarily himself in that scenario, and he could absolutely verbalize somebody else's feelings. So I kept at it, and every week there'd be a different scenario to improvise or whatever. He would always say what he had to say, and as the months, and I think it was maybe a year and a half, went by, and before long he was actually speaking, answering questions in the class. And I do think that the drama 100% helped that child with his elective mutism.